Virgo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your February 2025 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, I think in February you're going to see a lot of what I would call forward movement with your career and even like employment issues. If you've been having trouble um, finding a job, I feel like, and this may even have been the story in late January. I'm recording this in mid-January, so some of you or a lot of you will be listening before late January. You're going to have a new moon, and it's also the Chinese New Year, on January 29th in Aquarius, and Aquarius for you is your sixth house, the house that you rule in astrology, a new moon there. Now, this is the 29th, so it's right before the month of February. So we go into February with this momentum of this new moon, which actually can be active for several days after the official time. And on the 4th of February, Jupiter turns direct at 11 degrees of Gemini, and that is in your 10th house of career. This is a general forecast, so I can't, guarantee that everyone will have this in the 10th house, but it's all relative because you'll have it sooner or later. But yeah, so in the house of career, Jupiter is, this expansive force that can make a person do a quantum leap in the year that it transits the 10th house. So you're going to have Jupiter here for several more months, I think until the month of June. So we're talking about 4 months. And that's pretty great because that still gives you a lot of time to receive the blessings of Jupiter. And Jupiter's blessings in the 10th house can increase your earning power. It can increase your scope of influence because the 10th house is your place in the world, so your reputation may grow. Your when I say reputation, whatever your field is, you could receive more interest, followers, positivity because Jupiter is a benefic planet, all of that good stuff, and also luck. And I always say that I don't really believe in luck anymore, like just the randomness of luck. I do think it's alignment, and I think that it's coming from a more conscious place than people give it credit. I think that when you are really putting yourself in that zone where you are doing what you feel you came here to do and really applying yourself and really following your bliss, I feel like good things will follow you because you're going to be in a high vibration. So this is really great news because if you felt like something has been slowing down career-wise, work-wise, this should be good for you. And remember, I said work is the sixth house, the house that you rule in astrology, where you're having that new moon on January 29th, and that can jumpstart some kind of thing if you've been sending out resumes and it's like crickets or something. You might find that all of a sudden things are falling into place. Now, on the same day, on the 4th of February, when Jupiter goes direct, Venus goes into Aries, and Aries for you is the 8th house. And this is a money house, and Venus is the ruler of the second house of earned income. So there can be that possibility that you have the potential to receive money from sources that are not self-generated. So in other words, people giving you money for some reason, whether it's an inheritance, whether it is a loan, or if you're getting divorced and you're receiving money through your divorce. There's so many avenues. Even dividends I would put in this category that are You know, the fifth house can be the house of gambling and speculation. The eighth house is other people's money, so that to me implies, the whole putting things into the pot, so to speak, when we're investing money in something and then receiving whatever benefits come from that. It's also good for intimacy with a partner. I'm not talking about physical intimacy as much as emotional intimacy because this is Scorpio's domain. It's very intense, but it's very in depth. On the 12th, we have a full moon at 24 degrees of Leo. This is in your 12th house, Virgo. So this is like a closure of some sort. Now, you may be the one creating the closure. Maybe you are ending something like a bad habit. 12th house can be addictions. Do I think that Virgo people tend to be addictive personalities? Not necessarily, because a lot of you tend to be health nuts and very disciplined. So, you would be disinclined to do anything to jeopardize that. But yeah, there are some Virgo people that don't quite, they're like outliers. They don't quite fit the mold. And anyway, there are other types of addictions besides substance abuse. And also, this is the dream state, so it's a very psychic time for you. You might have some kind of a spiritual download or some kind of a prophetic dream that is important at this time that really guides you, because you're going to have a lunar eclipse in March. As a matter of fact, that's one thing I forgot to say, is that the eclipse season, we can say, begins in February, a month before the official dates of the eclipse. And one of those eclipses is going to be a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So there definitely is a theme of endings or culminations, meaning heightened states of being for Virgo people. And this can be the month with the moon in the house before your first house, the 12th house, where you're able to really let go of all that doesn't serve you. On the 14th, Mercury goes into Pisces, your opposite sign, so it's the opposite house of the 7th house of committed partnership. And, for some of you, maybe it's in your 6th house and you're talking to an employer or a potential employer. For those of you that's in the 7th house, you may be negotiating something. The 7th house is not only committed partnership, but also legal affairs. So you could be like, with Venus in the 8th house, if you're negotiating like some kind of split of money, then that's what, the 7th house can be, that kind of mediation or negotiation, active with the communication of Mercury. And maybe even making wedding plans and deciding on the what do you call it? Oh my God, it's nighttime. My brain farts are coming fast and furious, but reception hall. There you go. Okay, so that's when we get into this Pisces energy, we're talking about the relationship sector, and then you're on the 18th, the sun goes there. So that can be very romantic and very other oriented. On the 23rd or 24th, depending on where you live, Mars goes direct at 17 degrees of Cancer. This will be in your 11th house of the collective. We could even say, I call this a social justice warrior house, because it's about the collective or humanitarian affairs. And Mars is the warrior energy. So if there was a cause that you have been very passionate about, Virgo, and something derailed that in the past few months, this is the time when you're going to get back on track. But I think even like in terms of networking, because this house is the house of friendships and groups, you may have a reason that you're more on the aggressive side of trying to connect with people. And it might be maybe you're starting your own business and you want these kind of built in customers. Be careful about any kind of aggression with friends or groups of people because you are kind of on the warpath. And Jupiter is going to go into this sector in, I believe it's June or July. And when it does, it's going to expand your um, base of social contacts for some reason. And you maybe this is the time when you're actively pursuing that, but it's going to happen um, at some point, and you may be feeling frustrated. Mars can create anger or, impatience with certain people that you're dealing with, and you may feel like they're not carrying their weight. But while we're dealing with these extended Mars transits in the house of Cancer and Leo, the houses that they represent for you, it's important to understand that being aggressive is not the best use of Mars, even though it is a feature of Mars. It's more like the default kind of position, but you can be more refined than that. And there's like a bluntness to Mars energy. And sometimes that can be refreshing with all the fake people in the world, but sometimes it can be rough around the edges. And the typical Virgo person doesn't like people who are rude and, who are impolite, that don't say thank you and stuff like that. So you don't be that person, even if you're frustrated with the people around you for some reason. Also, I feel like, Mars can be athletic, and in the 11th house, it could be like joining a group that is dedicated to group athletics of some sort. And you feel like this is a better way to get fit. And Mars will take some time to get out of its shadow. It's going to be early May before that happens. So you still have the potential for things to be slowed down, but the fact that Mars is moving in a forward direction is everything. So be very happy about that because I am looking forward to that. On the 27th, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces, again in your opposite house of committed partnership. For some, this may actually be in your 6th house, and that would be great if you're in between jobs. Or even if you're currently employed but you're looking to get out of there, so you may find something better. But this can also be, if it's in the 7th house, this can be a new level to your relationship. And maybe this is the full commitment that you're making, and you're thinking like, hey, we're going to be together forever, and now we're making these arrangements to be together forever. So yeah, so anyway, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, please click on the link below to find out more information about all of my readings. Have a great month. Bye.